Are you able to see my screen? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. So in the last session, we discussed locators, right? We are discussing locators concept in Selenium. Mm. See, locators, what is the locator? Locator is the way, okay, the way how Selenium identifies elements in application. That is called locator. So there are different types of locators in Selenium. These are the locators we can use: tag name, by class name, ID, name, link text, partial link text, XPath, and CSS selector. Okay, guys. And in the last session, we discussed link text, partial link text, and XPath, right? So link text, how we should use this? Link text can be used to identify web link elements using its text value by dot link text. Inside that parenthesis, we should define the link text full text value should be defined. Similarly, partial link text, okay, partial link text. This locator also can be used to identify web link elements by using partial text value. Instead of using the full text value, we can use partial text value using this locator. That is the use of partial link text. And another important locator we discussed, XPath. So what is XPath? So XPath is see, XPath is a actually it is a language, we can say. It is used to identify XML nodes in the XML file. So XPath is a language or expression or pattern, we can call it, which is used to identify XML nodes in the XML document. Excuse me. Okay, guys. See why we are using XPath in HTML file in web page document. Since HTML document can be considered as a XML document, so we can use that XPath technique to identify HTML web elements in the HTML document as well. Okay, guys. So XPath is the language used for locating nodes in the XML document. Okay. And XPath are two types. There are two types of XPaths. One is absolute XPath, or we can call it as full XPath. Absolute XPath always begins with /HTML. Absolute XPath means nothing but the full XPath defined starting from the root HTML tag, the root tag HTML. Okay, guys. Relative XPath will be defined starting from any other element other than the root element. Okay, the XPath, if you define XPath starting from some element with some unique attribute or a unique tag name, okay, starting from that element, we define the XPath. So not from the root element. So that is called relative XPath. So relative XPath always begins with a double slash. Okay, guys. So here, this is a absolute XPath. How it is defined, starting with a single slash HTML body division section H2. So H2 is the element that we want to identify. So to this element, starting from the HTML root tag. So what all the tags are defined in between? All the tags will be defined inside that absolute XPath. And relative XPath always begins double methods are available that can be used in the XPath creation. Okay, guys. See that how to define XPath using just HTML tag. So like this, we can define double slash H2. What does this means? /h2 means the WebDriver will search that web page for this for the element with HTML tag name h2. That's all. It will search the entire web page document for the element with the tag name h2. There can be one element or more than one element. It will find all the elements. That is what this XPath, right, uh, will identify. It identifies all the elements with the tag name h2. So next, how to define XPath using attribute. Suppose if you want to define HTML tag along with the attribute value, we should define like this. /input is the HTML tag name. And for this element, for this input element, I want to define some attribute value. So attribute name is name. So always attribute should be defined with @ There should be prefix for every attribute name should be added @ and attribute value should be enclosed with a single quotes inside square brackets. Always attributes should be defined inside the square brackets in the XPath. So that is how attribute should be defined. All of you understand? So next, how to define multiple attributes? Say that inside square brackets, we can define for the same element, for the same input element, I want to define two attributes in the XPath. So name and type. So name and type both are attributes. So that's why both attribute name should be prefixed with @ and their values. And the keyword should be used here to define multiple attributes. So similarly, next option, by using element position number or index number, we can also define element index number. See, what is the meaning of this division of 1 in this XPath? So starting from /, first it will find division element with ID attribute value form in the HTML file. Once this element is found, then it will go to the next child element. See that / defines inside the XPath, / defines the child element. So division is a child element of this division. Okay, guys. So this division element at position 1, that means this first division element may contain more than one division element as a children. So in that case, I want to identify first division element or second division element or third division. That means first child element or second division child or third child division element. So which one you want to identify here? So in such scenario, we can define here index numbers. So it identifies the child position. Okay, guys. So inside this parent, I want to find first child division element. So that is what here one defines the child position, or we can call it as an index number /input. So next, define last child. Suppose inside this division, if there are multiple child divisions are there, and I don't bother about how many children are there. Suppose if there are 5 children, and if I want to identify fifth child element, then I have to define here division of 5. Is it right? Suppose if there are 6 children, and if I want to identify the last child, then I should define here division of 6. Is it right? That means to identify the last child, we should know that what is that last child index number. Then only we can use this index number value to identify the last child. Is it right? So without knowing the index number, how to identify last child? There is a method here in XPath. So last method. Instead of using index number, we can identify the last child element using this last method. So this last method is used to identify the last child element. All of you understand this? The last child method, the last method. So next, how to define a text value in the XPath? See, text is not an attribute. So that's why here text is not prefixed with the at the rate of symbol. So text is a method. So that's why here we are defining empty parentheses. So always the HTML text value should be defined like this using text method in the XPath. So attribute, if it is attribute, see here, attribute always prefixed with the name. Okay, guys. But here, but here, text HTML text is not an attribute. So that's why here text is not prefixed with the at the rate of symbol. Instead of that, we are using text method to define HTML text value in the XPath. So similarly, if I want to use some partial attribute value in the XPath, then we can use contains method. I can use contains method to define partial attribute value. That means instead of using a full attribute value, I can use partial attribute values as well in the XPath. So whenever you want to use partial attribute values, then you should use this method, contains method. Similarly, starts with method can be used here if you want to define attribute starting value. That means the attribute value should begin with a specific text. So like that, I want to define my XPath. So in that case, you can use here starts with method in the XPath. Similarly, next descendant element. How to find a descendant element? Descendant element means so child element. So this input element is a child of this division. Double slash means single slash means this input element will be the immediate child of this division element. If I use here double slash, what is the meaning of that? This input is a child of division, but it may not be an immediate child. Understand? This child can be at a different level. No need to be the immediate child. So that is the meaning of descendant. Okay. And ancestor. Ancestor means here say that this is the parent element. Sorry, this is the element, current element. Say, okay, we are here in the input element. After this element, after this input element, I want to find ancestor of this input element. Ancestor of this input element. Ancestor means parents, grandparents. So that is a tree, parents tree. Ancestor defines a parents tree. Okay, guys. So I want to find one parent in the parents tree with the name section. I want to find a parent with the name section and with attribute ID value login in the parents tree of this input element. So this element, section element can be at any level. No need to be an immediate parent. You understand? So this section can be at any level in the parent tree of this input element. So this section can be at the first level or second level or third level parent. No problem. But this section should be in the parent tree with this attribute value. That is what ancestor means. The ancestor method is used to identify an element in the parent tree. All of you clear? Ancestor, when to use this ancestor method. So next, preceding. So preceding means here, it currently we are in this input element. I want to find an element with the name label, HTML tag label, which is displayed before this input element. Preceding means before. So this label element should be displayed before this input. So then we should use here preceding. I want to find the element displayed before this input. I want to find a label element that should be displayed before this input element. So then we should use here preceding. Preceding means it defines an element that is displayed before the current element. So similarly, following means here the element displayed after the current element. That is the meaning of following. So here, what is the meaning of following here? It identifies a label element which is displayed after the current element input. That is the meaning of following. Similarly, preceding sibling. Preceding sibling means, see, preceding means this label element should be displayed before this input element. That's all. So this label element can be at a different level of input element. That means this label element can be right parent element for this input, no problem. Or this label can be may not be a parent element, but it can be at different level, no issues. But what is the condition here? Preceding means this label element should be displayed before the current element input. This element can be at the same level of input, or this label can be at a different level, no issues. Only the condition applied here is this label should be displayed before this input. That is meaning of preceding. So when you come here, preceding sibling, what is the meaning of this preceding sibling? This label should be displayed before this input. At the same time, this label and input, both these elements should be siblings. Siblings means elements which are displayed at the same level. That means these two elements having same parent. Then it is called siblings. Is it right? So that means this label element and input element, both these two elements are children of same parent. So then we call label and input both are siblings. So what is the meaning of that? Input and label both are at the same level. That means both are the children, both are the child elements of the same parent. That is the meaning of preceding sibling. One more condition, this label should be displayed before this input. But at the same time, the label and input both elements having same parent. All of you clear? That is the meaning of preceding sibling. Same meaning, following sibling. So this label element is displayed after the current input, current element input, and at the same time, this label and input both elements are the child elements of same parent. That means this label and input both are at the same level. That is the meaning of following sibling. Guys, these are all the different options we discussed in the XPath in the last session. So you have any doubts or any questions, or did you understand these XPath concepts? Have any questions? See, it is very important, XPath creation. You need to practice it. So how to practice it? You see, whenever you are writing a script, right, you try to use XPath as a locator as much as possible. So then you will get practice that XPath creation. So wherever, right, you can use all these options, right? You should try to use these options, whatever we discussed, right? So there are different options we discussed in the XPath. So wherever applicable, wherever we can use these options, so we should try those options and we should try to use it. Yeah, okay, guys, any questions you have in the XPath?
No, sir, it's clear.
No questions, no doubts. Okay. Yeah, okay, guys, here we completed up to here these sessions. I'm marking it XPath completed. CS selector we'll discuss later, guys, because I don't want to get you bored by discussing more on locators concepts continuously. CS selector also very similar to XPath. There are many options. So we'll discuss this later. No problem. So now let us see that the next topic here, I'm going here, text box, working with different types of web elements today. So can you tell me what are the different elements you can find on any web application? What are the different types of elements we can see on any web application? Anybody speaking? I'm not. Hello?
Link
text box.
Yeah, link, text
First
box.
name, last name, text box, link,
No,
submit button.
I'm asking types of elements like text boxes, right? Text boxes,
Mm,
web links, and
web links and
buttons,
buttons
buttons, check
and
boxes.
check boxes.
Yeah, radio buttons,
Option
radio
button
buttons, and what else we can
and
see in the web pages?
text match.
Text area, right?
Yeah, text area.
Okay. So anything
Mm,
else? Images, right? Images
yeah, images, colors.
and tables, web tables.
Yeah,
So
tables.
yeah, these are all different types of elements we can see on any web application, whatever the domain it is. Okay, these are all the most frequently used different types of web elements on any web applications, right? So how to work with this? See, while running your test cases manually, you will be performing actions on these web elements as part of our manual test cases execution. Is it right? If you take any test case, if suppose if I take a login test case, okay, for example, excuse me. Suppose if I take any login test case, we have to use text boxes or buttons or links. Only these are the elements will be there in most of the web pages, right? So using Selenium, how to automate user actions on these different types of web elements. That we are going to learn now in today's session, how to automate different types of web element actions. Okay, let us see that. Let me open my Eclipse. Let's see, next session is working with web elements. Okay. See, the first one is let me delete all these things. Working with buttons, simple one. Let us take with buttons, button or a link or images. So all these elements are same type of elements, right? Buttons, link, and images. So on all these elements, what actions we perform generally? Click action, right? So how to automate click action on these elements? It is very easy, simple, right? Now see that. Yeah. Okay, let us see that. Okay, let me all of you uh, create a new class in your project. Inside, go to SRC project, Selenium package, create a new class, all of you, with the name, the class name, new class. I'm going to define interactions. The class name is interactions. How to interact with the web elements. That's what now we are going to automate. Okay. And I'm choosing this main method. Done. So class is created. Yes, all of you please create a new class, interactions. Okay, and now you can copy this one. Okay, let us automate a simple one. What is that? login page. I will take this one, this URL. No, not you, this one, not web form. We have login, right? This one I will take. Okay. So yes, just I'm copying. Please complete all of you. Add these 3 steps. So inside
Sir, can you send
interactions,
the link, sir?
yeah, just inside interactions class, just add these 3 lines of code. I'm copying it. Just wait. Yeah, practice test login. Just simple login page I want to automate. Or we can take this web form as well. No need to take this simple login test. Let us go with web form. I think so. In this page, we have all types of elements. It's better to go with this. We have all types of elements on this. Okay, guys, copy this Selenium web form.html and run this script, and then this page will be opened, right? I'm running it. Okay, so page is opened. Okay, page is opened. Just please ensure, please add these 3 steps. First step, define, declare variable, and then define Chrome driver, new Chrome driver object variable, and then driver dot get, and navigate to this URL. So after that, let us see first step. Okay, button. Okay, I have submit button right here. I want to click this button. For example, I want to click this button. So how to automate this? Very simple. First, we have to identify the locator to this element, right? So let us see that F12. Yeah. For this submit button, let us see what attributes are available. See here, HTML tag for this submit button is button, and there is no ID attribute or name attribute available for this button. Okay, guys. So then what is the best locator? Whenever ID or name both are not available, then you can go blindly with XPath. Okay, guys. So let us see how to define XPath for this element. The button, and what attribute I can use here to identify this button element. I can identify type. We can use submit, type equal to submit. I can use this attribute, or I can also use this text value. See, the button text value is submit. So anyone I can use. I can use this submit text, or I can use this type submit attribute. Anything I can use. So let us see now. First, I will define XPath using type submit for this element. Control F, double slash, button. Say tag name is that button. And I want to define here attribute type value submit. Okay. So attribute should be defined inside square brackets, and attribute name should be prefixed with at the rate of symbol, type equal to type value submit, and close square bracket. See that now it is highlighting one element, one web element. So like this we can define, or I want to use submit text instead of type attribute. Let us use this submit text value S caps here. You can see that submit is S caps. Now, how to use this text value in the XPath? I should use here text equal to S caps letter. See that now it is identifying same element. But if I give a small letter S, see that it is not identifying because the text is here capital letter, but we defined here small letter. All of you understanding? So if I define here capital S, then it is identifying this element properly. Okay, guys. So like this, you have to define XPath for this element. Please, all of you define XPath in the script. Please add this step. Driver dot. All of you completed these 3 lines.
Completed, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now follow me. I will driver dot find element, and double quotes. Type double quotes inside the find element method, and inside the double quotes you type here by dot. Oh, sorry, double quotes not required, guys. Remove the double quotes. Inside find element method, within the parentheses, by small capital B, by by dot XPath. First option. Just you type X by dot X, it will show you XPath option. Select it. Now inside XPath parentheses, double quotes. Within the double quotes, XPath should be copied. Okay. Paste it. See that how it is defined? Driver dot find element within the parentheses by dot XPath. In the XPath parentheses, you type double quotes, and inside the double quotes, XPath should be defined. Double slash button, square bracket, open square bracket, text with empty parentheses equal to submit in the single quotes. S should be capital letter and close square bracket. So that's all. So this is the element locator to identify submit button. We are defining here XPath locator. And once that element is identified, what action you want to perform on that element? I want to perform click action. So just you simply type dot after this element. You can see here the list of actions, methods, what methods you can select to perform different actions. I want to perform click action. So here select click, that's all. And with empty parenthesis, semicolon, that's all. So to click any button element or link element, if you want to click a link element or to click on image element, any element, to click any element, the method is simply click method we use, that's all. Okay, so this is the what is the use of this method? What is this one? Click submit button. What we are doing here? Click submit button. That's what we are doing. Okay, all of you clear? So once you click submit button, what happens? Form submitted. You're getting this message. Okay, run the script and see that. Is it working?
Sir, I have one question. Instead of,
Yeah.
for example, expert, you mentioned that, sir, go to the Eclipse.
Mm.
Instead of the expert, you mentioned that line number 13.
Mm.
In that case, in the future, we'll updated ID seat worker, sir, button.
No, right now ID is not
But
available, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
No, I'm
why.
asking.
What is your
I'm
question?
asking that.
Uh.
I'm asking the questions. Different web page we are finding after the class. In that case, in the text box, mention that ID or class something, whatever the case.
Mm.
In that case, we are example for by dot expert here by dot ID equal to whatever
Yeah.
the mention that
We can use
okay.
by dot. If ID is available, yes, you can use by dot ID directly. No problem.
Okay, buttons working for ID also.
Yeah, that's all. With for any element, if ID or name is available, with
Mm-hmm.
any element, you can use that locator by ID, by name locator. No issues.
Okay. Okay,
Only
sir.
thing is,
Thank
if that
you.
ID and name,
Mm-hmm.
both attributes are not available, then you can go
We
with
will use the
XPath.
X path. Okay.
Right,
That's I'm
right.
asking the questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, guys. So this is how simply click action can be automated on any element using. So what is the method to click any element? So here, what is the action we are automating? Click on button or link or image element. Okay. Or any element, and not only these elements. We can click any element or any element. No problem. So what is that method we are using? The method is dot click is the method. Okay, guys. So how to automate any element using this method? Okay. Now let us see the next element, text box. How to enter or type text into text box element. How to type a text into text box element. Now let us say this one. Okay. So here it is a text box. I want to enter some text value into this text box. So how to automate this action? So for that also, first we have to find the locator for this text box, right? So let us see what is the locator for this text box. Highlighting this text box. You can see here name is available, ID is available, right? So we can use anything. I'm taking this ID value, copy this, and I can write here. Now you can write before this click submit method, before this statement, you can type this one now. What action we are doing? Enter text into uh, what is that element name, text box name, text input text box, text input text box. Okay. So driver dot, please write this statement. Driver dot find element by dot id, id value. That's all. Copy that ID value. So now the text box element is identified. Once that text box element is identified, what is the method we need to select to enter the text into that element? You type dot here. Now you can find here send keys method. See that method is send keys method. You see, you can see here for this send keys method, there is one input we have to pass. What is that input? Character sequence, string value you have to pass as input. Send keys and give the input. What text you want to enter into this element? So that a string, that input value, you have to pass it as input. So it in the within the double quotes. Suppose I'm entering here my name, Prasad. That's all. Guys, see that I'm entering enter name. I want to enter name into text input text box. Send keys is the method. All of you clear, guys? So here the method we are using to enter dot, sorry, dot send keys is the method. And there is one input for this method. What is that input? In double quotes, we have to pass a string value. So this is the method. Send keys, K is capital letter here. K is capital letter, guys. See, Java is a case sensitive language. It is very important. If the method is a capital letter, we should use capital letter. We can't change the capital letter to small letter. Okay. So send keys is a method we are using to type any text or to enter any text value into any text box. So it is a method. Okay, now try to run this and see that this value is entered into the text box or not. No, it's very fast, right? I could not see. Okay, I will add here some wait statement here. See that before clicking submit button, I want to wait for some time. Sleep is the method, Java method, this one. Sleep for some 3,000 seconds. Sleep, just we have to import this method. My sleep is not coming. Duration of, okay. Yes, I will add here some 2 seconds. Allows throws sound. Just yeah, I have to select here this one. Add throws declarations option to right remove this error. See right now it is showing error, right? Thread dot sleep of 2 seconds too. So to remove this error, I should have to select this option, add throws declaration. See here, see that throws interrupted exception. So this statement is added here and that error is gone. Okay, guys. Just I want to wait here. I don't want to run this step immediately. After running this step, line number 13, and before running line number 16, I want to wait for some time. So that's why here I'm using thread.sleep statement. So then, so that I can see that this step is executed successfully or not. Okay, I want to see that in the application. Okay, guys. Now let me run this. You say that text is entered successfully. All of you clear? Now it is running perfectly. So it is not required. Thread.sleep is not required in our script. But why we added this one? I want to see that whether this text is entered or not into the text box. So for that purpose, I am adding here intentionally to wait state some wait statement. Okay. In the real-time projects, we don't use this sleep statements and all. Okay. Just to show you that this statement is running successfully, I am using here some wait statement. Wait means sleep statement. It is a Java statement. Java. It is not a Selenium script. It is a Java statement. Thread.sleep. Yes, all of you executed this step. All of you finished this text box. How to enter the value into text box. Okay, similarly, next step also text box. Let us complete this password text box value also. Let me find locator for this password. Name is password. Okay, ID is not available here. So name is available. So I can take this name, copy this name. Okay, and add here the next step before thread. I will use here / enter password or enter test in password text box. Add one more statement, driver dot find element by dot name name value dot send keys, and test, it is a value I want to enter into the password field. Test. I see that. Please all of you create similar same step. Okay. And similarly, you can see here text area. There is one more field, text area. I think so. This is also typing text box, kind similar to text box. In this text box, you can enter only single line, but in the text area, we can type multiple lines. That is the difference between text box and text area. Okay, but the same method we can use for the text area element as well. So let me add a step for this also. Text area. Here name is there again. My text area. So I'm using this name attribute. And here now I want to enter some description. Okay, enter note in text area element. Okay, so for that add here one more statement, driver dot find element, again by dot name, copy that name value, and same method, send keys method, and here I'm entering note. Simply see that. Okay, so it is a text area element. It is a text box, it is a password field, and it is a multi-line text area element. So three types of text boxes now we are automating here. Normal text box, it is a password field text box. If you type anything, it is encrypted. You can't see what is the value is typed here. That is called password field here, right? Password field. It is also text box, but a different type of text box, not a normal text box. And similarly, text area is also a different type of text box with multi-line enabled. Okay. So these three text boxes now we automated. Yes, all of you complete these three steps. Okay, please complete it and run. Check the execution. See that it is entered. So it is working perfectly. So here we are using text box element or password text box, password or text area element. With all these elements, we are using same method. To type a text into text box or password field or text area element, we are using this send keys method. Yes, please let me know once you complete the execution for these four steps. Now we automated four elements: normal text box, password text box, text area text box, and submit button.
Completed, sir.
Okay. Anantalakshmi,
Got it, sir.
got it. Okay, good. Sumati,
Sir, I have one question, sir.
yeah.
In the HTML page, it's
Mm,
mentioned that color.
mm, mm.
In that case, we can use the text bar or CSS sector, sir.
No, no, it is a different way how to check the color.
Okay, okay, sir.
It is
So what
not a
about the
text.
draw?
Hmm?
Okay. So what about the drop down? That one is text or not, sir?
Which one? Drop down. This drop down.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it is not a text box. We'll come to that next one.
Okay, sir.
So this color and all, we can see that later, how to verify the
Mm-hmm.
colors.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we completed these three elements and this one, right? Okay. And now drop down. Now let us see this drop down. How to select item in the drop down. It is a drop down list. It is called drop down list, right? 1, 2, 3 is there. Suppose if you want to select a 2, then have to click on this 2, then 2 is selected, right? So any one value we can select here, 1 or 3 or this one, any one we can select, right? So let us first see a locator for this element. Then we can see how to select the, okay, select. You can see here the HTML tag for this drop down is select. Okay, HTML tag for this, see for this text area, what is HTML tag? See that text area. Understand, guys? Similarly, password field input for normal text box input. HTML tag is input. So similarly, so let me define that, guys. Okay. So it is very important. We have to understand that how these different type of text box elements, button elements are defined in the HTML file. What, which HTML tags are used to define these elements. Now, similarly for the drop-down elements, what is the HTML tag? Select is the HTML tag. Okay, and these labels, see these captions, how captions are defined in the HTML file. See that I'm looking to this text input. Text input. See, it is a label. All of it clear. See here, that's a label. See, inside this label, input is there. You see that here. This input text box is inside this label. So these are all structure, how these HTML page is designed by the developer. That's fine. But what is the element they are using to define this text input caption label? See here, label they are using. Okay, guys. So these are all different HTML tags they are using to create right different types of input fields in the web page. Okay, similarly for this drop downs, the HTML tag is select. Okay, so name is available here, attribute name. So we can identify this select element using name attribute. So name locator, copy this locator. Yes, see that first select what we are selecting here. Select item in the drop down. Okay, simply I will write select item in drop down list. Drop down list. Okay, so for that first you should write here driver dot find element by dot name and copy that value. Okay, done. Yes, see that first we have to see it is not a single method, guys. To select item in this drop down, it is not a single action. If you observe that, how we are doing, we are clicking this method, we are clicking on this button, right? Then it will display list of options available in this drop down. From this list of options, you are selecting one option, right? You can see here when I click this drop down, it is showing the list of options. In the right side, you can see now these options are listed here in the HTML file under select element. You can see here option 1, first option value, second option value, third option value, 3, 2, 1, open this select menu. You can see that right here. These are all the options are available inside this select method, inside this select element. All of you clear? So from this list of options, we need to select any one option. See that option text. The text is visible to us. See, first option, what is the first option visible to us in the drop down? Open this select menu. Second option, 1. Third option, 2. Fourth option, 3. So these are all, I can say, list items or list options. So each list option or each list item contains a text value, right? So that text value is displaying here. You can see here inside option HTML tag, option HTML tag. See, this is the text, option text. Similarly, second option text 1, third option text 2, fourth option text 3. So like this, all list of options are defined in the HTML file using option HTML tag, HTML element. All of you understand this now? So now let us see that from this list of options, suppose if I want to select two option, I want to select two option 2. So how I can do that? Say that first. So for that, first you have to identify this select element. The first step is find this select drop down element. So that is what now we have done. By using name locator, we are finding the drop down element. Once this drop down element is identified, okay guys, now assign this element, web element, to some variable. See that here, web element drop down list is equal to, yeah, see that here, what I'm doing. See here, this find element method, what it will do, it will find an element with the name my select. Is it right? So which element will be identified here? So this element will be identified. So this element is what type of element it is? It is a select element. That means it is a drop down element. Understand? So this locator will identify drop down element, and that drop down element will be assigned to this variable. That's what I'm doing now. So this find element method returns a web element. This find element method will identify one element, and that element will be returned by this find element method. All of it clear? So this find element method returns a web element which is identified by using this locator. And that web element I'm assigning to this variable DDL. I can define any variable. So to this variable, I am assigning drop down web element. Using this find element method, I am getting the web drop down element in the web page, and that drop down element we are assigning to this variable DDL. So what value we are returning from this method? We are returning web element. We are returning. Is it right? That means I want to assign web element to this variable. So that is the reason we are declaring a variable of type web element, because I want to assign a web element to this variable. So that's why this variable type should be web element. All of you clear? Why we are declaring this DDL as web element? Because I want to assign a web element to this variable. So that is the reason this variable should be declared as a web element. All of you understand? So now import this web element class. So import it so that error will be gone. So now in this statement, what we are doing? We are finding a drop-down element using name locator, and that drop-down element is assigned to this variable. All of it clear up to here? Once you find this drop-down element, this select element, now you can write here method to select item from the drop-down. See that how to write it. Select, or I can say options is equal to guys, see here, I'm using here one more statement I defined. Select is a class, and I declared one variable of type select. Options I have given variable name, and to this variable, what I'm assigning here, new select DDL, new select DDL. See that here, select is a class which is predefined inside a WebDriver. Select is a class that is predefined in our WebDriver, Selenium WebDriver. So I want to create an object of select class, and to this select class, we are passing one input. What input we are passing? Drop down element, web element as input. We are passing drop down web element as input to this select method. So what it will do? It will return list of all selectable options from this drop down. See, in this drop down, we have list of options, right? All these options will be returned into this variable. How you can get all list items from this drop down? Using select class in Selenium. Guys, all of you clear? See that first step, what we are doing? First, we are finding the drop down element using name locator or any locator. And once you get that drop down element, and we're passing this drop down element as input to select method, to select class. And we are creating a new object. What it will create? It will create a list of all options from this drop down. And that list of options are returned into this options variable. So now let us remove this error first by importing select class. So that error is gone. So now once you get list of options from this drop down, now you can select any item, any option from the list of options using this variable options dot, see that here, select, say select by index, select by value, select by visible text. So these are all different, four different or five, there are four methods are available to select item from the list of items. Select by contains visible text. What is this method? Okay, first let us take this method. I will use this method. Select by visible text. See that, what is this method? And I'm defining here two. What it will do? See guys, these are the three steps involved here to select an item in the drop down list. So there are three steps we need to write. First step, find out. I can club these two methods, these two lines as a single line. What I can do? I can copy this statement here directly. Instead of writing variable, I can write here like this. To make it simple, easy to understand, just simply I have split it that into two lines. See, first step, what we are doing? We are finding a drop down element, and that drop down element we are getting into some variable. All of you clear up to here, right? And the next step, what we are doing? We are defining a select object. We are getting a select object from this drop down. Select object in the sense list of options. That drop down contains list of options, right? So that list of options we're getting into this variable using select class. And for the select class, what is the input we're passing? The drop down web element is the input. All of you understand now the second step. Once you get the list of options, select object, using this select object options variable, we can use this method select by visible text. In this list of options, I want to select an item with the text value 2. So in this list of items, there are item with the 2 value. So this item I want to select. All of it clear? So that is what it will do now. Now let me run this and see that 2 is selected or not. See that 2 is selected. Okay, guys, all of you complete this 3 lines. You please add these 3 steps and then execute that to select a drop down item.
Sir, I have questions. In the
Mm,
HTML path select option 2 is mentioned that value. Why did it
mm.
mention here the value, sir? But why did select option here we using?
No, no. What is the method we are using here? Select by visible text,
Mhm. Okay.
not by
That's
value, right? The method what we are using here to select item is text method.
okay.
Select by visible text. So what is the visible text on that particular item? Whatever you want to select. I want to select a 2 item. Item 2 I want to select. For this
Okay.
item, what is visible text? TWO, right?
Two. Okay. But
So
in that HTML element mentioned that value equal to 1. What about that one?
yeah, that's what we'll come to that point. See now
Okay.
we are using this method. There are 4 methods we can use
Okay.
to select item in the drop down. So it is the first
Mm-hmm.
method we are seeing now.
Okay.
Using if I use this method, then you should pass text value as input.
Okay.
You understand, right? So
Yeah.
depends upon the method what we are using, you should pass the input.
Okay.
I am using
Okay.
here select by visible text is the method. So for this method, text value should be input.
Okay. For example, here they mention any numbers in the
Any?
what I can any
Any?
numbers, for example, numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, for
Yeah,
example.
no problem. See, any value which is defined between the HTML tags.
Oh, any one that is here mentioned that word here that's a
Yeah,
using or
yeah,
mention that 1, 2, 3 numbers,
yeah.
integer number.
We can numeric value also we can use, no problem.
Okay. No,
No
sir. Okay,
issues.
thank you.
Yeah.
But I need the syntax for the values and
Yeah, yeah, I will
attributes,
show
sir.
you. I will show you. I will show you. We'll see that first. See, this is the first method we are seeing here.
Yes. Okay, sir.
Select by visible text.
Okay.
How to select drop down item? So there are 3 steps. First step, identify the drop down. Then you get the selectable items or select object you get from this drop down. Select object, or we can call it a select object, or we can call it as a selectable items list. Okay. Select object from this drop down using select class by passing drop down element as input, and then using this select object. Now you can select which item you want by using different methods. So there are 4 methods are available. Out of that first method we are using here, select by visible text. First, all of you finish this execution, these 3 steps. Then we'll see other methods, how to use.
Um, Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
I got the answer and all. I mean, the option button 2 is selected.
Hmm.
After that, in my code window, no, it's throwing some error.
Where?
That is that in the console window.
Mm-mm.
So after selection, in my form, like getting like some at org dot open QA that's a remote driver and all like simple error. I think it's a simple error message in a
Ping
console.
me that. Ping me that. What is that?
But everything worked.
Yeah. You ping the error?
Yes. So like this. But the two options are selected.
W3 HTTP response code. Now, which version of Selenium WebDriver you are using? What is the version? Latest version you have, right?
Right, yeah, which we 4.31.
4.31. Okay. Our find element.
After launching page,
Uh,
only I'm getting this.
after launching the page itself, you are getting this one now.
No, after closing the page, I got it. That's got a drop down and it got selected into and was selected. After that, when I closed and went to the console, in the console window, I'm getting this error.
It might be because of 1 second. Oh, as per the description, it looks like some W3C standards issue. It's not a script issue or anything. Okay, there is something W3C standards issue related thing. It is maybe because of compatibility issue, either browser compatibility or it is not our script related issue, Anandalakshmi, I'm sure. Okay,
It
we'll see.
got, it's
Yeah,
working fine. And
yeah, that's what. There is nothing wrong in the script problem.
okay.
There is something W3C standards issue, maybe with the browser uh, related issue. That one.
Okay.
Which browser you are using? Chrome only, right?
Chrome only, sir.
Okay. Okay, we'll see that. So all of others completed. Sumati,
Completed, sir.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So now let us see other methods. Options dot select by value. See that here. Select by value. If I use this method, what is the input we have to pass? value should be the input. Value means attribute value here. See that. Select this method, and here you can see here these are the value. See for this uh, one value is equal to number 1, 2 value is equal to number 2. For this item value is equal to 3. So now I want to select item using this attribute value, using attribute value. So we should define here now. If I want to select 3, I should define here 3 by value 3. That means now this it should be selected now. So all of it clear. Similarly, there is one more method. Say that options dot select by index. Options dot select by index number. What is this one? Now if I select 0, index number 0, which item will be selected now in this
First
list?
item.
First item. See, these are all the items. Item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4. There are four items, right? So always first item index begins with 0. Second item index 1. Third item index 3. Sorry, 2. Fourth item index 3. So like that, index numbers will be defined automatically for each item in the drop down. So using that index value, index number, you can select item with respect of the text or value. I can use index number to select items. All of it clear? So that is this index number. So now let me run first one. I will comment this line. I will comment this also. Now item 3 should be selected now. See, 3 is selected. Done? Okay. Similarly, if I run last one, index number, using index number, I'll comment this one. Now first item should be selected. Or suppose if you want to select second item, what is index number? 1. Second item means 1 should be selected here. See, what is the second item? 1. So it should be selected. 1 should be selected. Okay. I am selecting here index number 1. That means it is a second item in the drop down. See, 1 is selected. So all of you clear? So how to select? And there is one more option. What is that? Options dot select by contains visible text. Partial, it is a partial visible text. So here in I want to select first item, this one, open this select menu. Okay. Instead of giving full text, I can give select as a partial text I can use. So here I will use select. Select. Now it should select an item with the text value select. So the first item contains the select value. All of it clear? So it should select here this one, default one. I will comment this line as well. Now run. See, done. All if you understand, guys, now you please try one by one these options. Select item using value. I can say simply using text. Select item using index number. Index. This one. Select item using partial text. Okay, so these are all 4 different methods we can use to select drop down item. You please try all these 3 4 options.
Sir, this is last question. What about the menu and submenu, sir, in that drop down
Is it
menu and submenu?
this one now? I'm not
Hmm.
getting menu.
No, no, I'm asking menu and submenu, how to write that syntax, menu and submenu.
See, menu is different. Drop down is
Mm-hmm.
different. Element is different. In the drop
Okay.
down means list of options will be there. From that list of
Mm-hmm.
options, you can select any one option. That is the drop down list, right?
Mm-hmm.
Menu again is a different one. It is not a drop down kind of thing. Menu.
Okay. Oh,
Menu is a different item. We can see that later. Okay. Menu is a different
okay.
element. It
Oh,
is
okay.
different from drop down.
Oh, this is different web element, correct?
Yeah, it is different web element, menu element.
Okay.
That is simply we have to use click options, no other options.
Oh,
First you have
so
to
very
click
simple.
main. Yeah, first you have to click main menu and then it will open sub menu, right? In that sub
Oh, yeah.
menu, again you have to click whatever option you want. Like that only you have to automate. There is no single method to select sub menus directly.
Okay. Okay.
So
If
how you,
you.
yeah, how do you select menu options manually? First we click main menu and then go to the sub menus and then you click on the sub menu item, whatever you want. Like that will go, right? In the same way, you
Yes.
have to automate using click action. That's all.
Okay. That is different web page,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, yeah. It is different one. That is not a
Okay.
drop down.
Yeah, if you free time, you will show me, sir. That's for
Yeah, yeah, we can see that later. Okay.
yeah, practice purpose.
Mm. Yeah, guys, all of you completed this execution?
Completed, sir.
Okay. Okay, the next to see that we have checkbox and radio buttons. How to work with radio buttons, we'll see first. See here we have two radio buttons, this one and this one, right? Two radio buttons and there are two checkboxes. What is the difference between checkboxes and radio buttons? See, you can see here.
Checkbox means we can select more options. Option
Yeah,
button means only one option can be
yeah,
selected.
right. See, there are two checkboxes, but both the checkboxes can be selected here. That is the checkboxes. Both are independent, not dependent, right? And but here there are two radio buttons options, but you can select any one among those two radio options. See that if you select this one, that is automatically unselected. If I select first one, second one is automatically unselected. So that is the difference between radio options and checkboxes. Okay, so let us see that how to select a checkbox first. So to select a checkbox, I have to check this checkbox locator, right? Find that locator. So input. What is that HTML tag? You see that here input. For the text box also input HTML tag, right? Checkbox also input. And you can see type is checkbox. For the checkboxes, type is checkbox. For text boxes, type is text. And name is available and ID also available. So we can take ID. I will use this ID. Okay. So now I'm writing here. I want to select the first option. So I will keep this one and I will comment this line. Okay. I want to select a second item in the drop down. So I'm using select by index. Now select checkbox. Select first checkbox. I want to select first checkbox. Driver dot find element by dot ID. Give that ID value. Okay, done. The step is action method is click. That's all. That's all. See what we are doing to select a checkbox with the mouse. To select or unselect, we are clicking on the checkbox, right? See now it is unselected. If I click it again, it is selected. If I click on the same checkbox again, it is unselected. See what action you are performing? Only click action you are performing, right? But it is changing its status, its state, right? Sometimes it is selected, sometimes it is unselected. But action we are performing is same. We are clicking the mouse on the checkbox. But different times it is selected, sometimes it is unselected, right? Depends on the current state of the checkbox. Okay, now we are not bothering about that. I want to select this checkbox. So for that, how we can automate this action? Just simply by click action by using click method. I want to click this checkbox. That's all. If the checkbox is already in unselected state, then it will be selected. If it is already in the selected state, it will be unselected. That's what will happen, right? After clicking with mouse. So now let me check this one. I'm running this now. It is not selected, right? I'm running again one more time. It is unselected. Now let us see what will happen. Yes, please observe before clicking that checkbox. Is it selected already? Yeah, you see that first checkbox is already selected, right? By default. When you click on that checkbox using this statement, what is happening? It is unselected because it is already selected state. So when you click that checkbox, what will happen? It will be unselected. Is it right? Suppose if I want to select a second checkbox. Say I want to select a second checkbox. What is the locator for that? ID. Yeah, my check 2, right? My check 2. Okay. I will change this ID value to 2. Now what will happen? it will click a second checkbox. So that second checkbox will be selected now, because by default second checkbox is in unselected state, I guess. Now see this, guys. Now you see here checkbox, second checkbox is selected. First checkbox is already selected. All of you clear? See, one more time I'm running. See that second checkbox is selected and first checkbox also selected. That means first checkbox is already selected. That's why it is in selector state. Okay, but it is not the correct way, right? See, by simply clicking on the checkbox, we are not sure whether the checkbox is selected or unselected, right? Sometimes it may be selected, sometimes it may be selected also. Anything may happen. That depends upon the current state of that particular checkbox. Is it right? So, but we have to ensure that, suppose if I want to select a second checkbox, our automation script should select that checkbox. If I want to select, that checkbox should be selected. It should not be unselected. Is it right? So our automation script should ensure that one. If I want to unselect the checkbox, the script should ensure that checkbox is unselected. All of you clear? But if I write simply click statement, what will happen? Anything can happen. It may be selected or it may be unselected. Anything is possible. Both are possible, right? So this single statement is not enough to select or unselect a checkbox in the real-time scenarios. All of you understanding? So first, what I need to do? First, you need to check that whether this checkbox is already selected. Suppose if I want to select a first checkbox, manually when you are setting the first checkbox, what you are doing? Are you going and click this checkbox blindly? No, right? First, you will check that is it already selected. If it is already selected, we should not click that checkbox, right? If that checkbox is not selected, then only we have to click that to select that one. That's what we do, right? When you select a checkbox manually, how you do that? Manually, we will check that first. Whether, suppose now already checkbox 1 is selected. Now my expected action is selection. I want to select the checkbox 1. It is already selected. So if it is already in the selected state, you should not click that checkbox again, right? If I click it again, what will happen? It will be unselected. Is it right? But it is not the action what we need to perform as per our test case. For example, suppose the test case says that select a checkbox. But in your application, checkbox is already in a selected state. Then do you need to click this checkbox? No, right? No need to click that because it is already in the selected state. Is it right? If it is in the unselected state, then you have to click that. Is it right? So there is something intelligent check is required to select or unselect the checkbox. All of you understand this? So that intelligent check step should be added in the automation script as well. Okay, we'll see that later, how to check that. What is that means before running this step, we need to check that what is your expected state. Suppose I want to expect that checkbox should be selected. Then before running this step, we have to check the current state of the checkbox. If the checkbox is not already in the expected state, then only we have to click that checkbox. If the checkbox is already in the expected state, then you should not click that checkbox. All of you understand? So before running this step in the real-time scenario, you need a check, you need a verification. Okay, that we'll discuss later, how to automate that verification point. But right now, to select or unselect the checkbox, what is the method? Click method. I hope all of you understand. To select or unselect, how you do that in the Selenium? By using click method. Very simple. Okay. Similarly, come to this radio option. To select second radio button, I have to click on the second radio button option. To select first radio option, I have to click on the first radio button option. Suppose the first radio option is already selected. Now I want to select first radio option. Even if I click one more time, nothing is going to happen. The same first option is selected. It is not behaving like a checkbox. Is it right? Suppose now second radio option I want to select. It is not already selected. So now click that. So it is selected. Now second radio option is already selected, but still if I click that second radio option, nothing is going to happen wrong, right? So no problem. So here no need to check anything before clicking the radio option, whatever you want. If I want to select the first radio option, just simply click that radio option 1. No issues. Even that first radio option is already selected, no problem. If the first radio option is not already selected, no issues. What we need to do? We need to click on the first radio option if we want to select it. So here the simple action is click again. To select radio option also, we have to use click method. Very simple. So now if I want to click second radio option, first we have to find this second radio option locator. Look at this. Excuse me. The ID is there. I can use this ID. Select second. It is also second, right? Not first. Second checkbox. Okay, second radio option. Okay, button or option, or we can say it is a button. No anything. Fine. Driver dot find element by dot ID value dot click. That's all. That's it. It will select second radio button now. Now run this. Say that second radio button is selected. No problem. Okay, guys. So you please complete these 2 steps. Checkbox clicking and radio option clicking. So click is the method we use to select or unselect the checkbox and to select a radio option. To select any radio option, we are using click method. So these are all the most frequently used web elements on any application generally. Okay, basic elements. So completed these two steps, checkbox and radio option.
Completed, sir.
Okay, Priya. Others?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, guys. Now see, these are all the basic elements. Now you can try to automate any application, whatever you feel, take anything, right? Okay. You try to automate these basic interactions, basic actions. You can take any application and you try to create a script using right if id is available, use id. If name is available, use name. Otherwise, try to use xpath and then try to automate these basic actions, text boxes, drop downs, check boxes, and radio buttons. And buttons, links, or images, anything you can be able to automate now, right? Uh, so just you please practice that, and if you face any issues, right, let us know. We will see that. uh, I think so. Now you can be able to do basic scripting with all basic element actions. So you can take any website that you whatever you want and try to do some exercise, create a script for that application. Whatever you want to automate steps, any steps with these basic actions. Okay, so that if you practice like that, right, you will feel that how to write a XPath for different elements, and you can find some issues while identifying the elements. Sometimes, right, the script may be right working. You may have written a proper script, but still it may not be working fine properly while running the script. So these kind of issues you can see when you try to automate different types of applications, the basic actions. So if you face any such issues, please let me know, and I will show you that. I will explain you why you face those issues and how to fix that one. Okay. So my request is you please try to practice this scripting as much as possible with the different types of applications. Very simple. Create a new class for different application and then try to automate the steps whatever you want in that application, and then see that is it running or not. Like that you have to practice with the different applications. Take any sample applications or real-time applications, no problem. Take any irct's application, redbus application, anything. You try to automate whatever you want to do in that application. Basic actions, whatever now we have discussed, right? Working with the text boxes, working with drop downs, working with the check boxes, or working with the radio options, or working with the links or images, buttons. So these elements try to automate simple things. Okay, so then next session we will see that how to the next step after performing automating the basic interactions. Next, how to get information from the application at runtime. That means now, right, see this element is disabled, right? This element is disabled. Now see here in this in this drop down, suppose some item is selected. I want to know which item is selected in this drop down and what text is entered in this text box. I want to get that text. So this kind of thing. Suppose I want to know what is the current status of the state of this checkbox. Is it already selected state or unselected state? I want to know. Similarly, what is the color selected in this color dropdown, color item element? So this kind of information, how to get the information data from the application at runtime. See, now we have seen interaction. We performed some actions on the element, like type the value into text box, type the value into password field, type the value into text area, select item in the drop down, click on this checkbox, click on the radio button, click on the button. These are all the different actions that we performed on web elements. So the next session, how to get the information from the element, from the web element in the application. How to get the data from the web element. Data means anything. I text, what is the text value, or is it this text box is enabled or disabled, or what is the value is entered in this text box. Okay, any value we can get. I want to get some information about this web element. How to get that information at runtime while running the script. I want to get that value and I want to use it in another next step, for example, like that. So that is the next step. How to get information from the web elements. that we'll learn. And we'll discuss this later, guys. CSS selector and what else is missing. CS selector is very similar to XPath. That's why I don't want to discuss immediately. It may get bored. So we'll discuss this later. And next, right, menus and all we'll discuss here, Deepa, in this topic while discussing about tables, right? At that time, we will see that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys, that's it for today's session. Do you have any questions? You can ask me. Do you have any clarifications needed? So my work is for you is if you want, right, I can give you some sample, any website you can take, guys. Like see that I'll show you some of the um, applications you can try. Take any application, challenging any applications like some banking sample applications you can find for testing. Say that for testing, you can get some simple, right, list of apps for banking. Sample banking application. Okay, maybe you can get it here. Some sample applications, names. I don't find anything. Online banking demo. Take this. Yes, definitely, right. When you try with the different applications, you will face some challenges and issues. Don't worry. Let us bring those issues and we'll discuss. Okay. And I will tell you that how to write, overcome those issues. Okay. So you can try any applications, guys. You can search and write a general applications. I can take anything like even redbus.in kind of things. You can try what you generally do, searching, right? Searching for bus, something like that. That also you can try to automate whatever you feel. Okay. Similarly, facebook.com, anything, take that and try to do some invalid login. So anything you can try, any application you can try, go to login page and try to do login, automate. So try with different applications and try to automate the basic actions, whatever now we discussed. That is what I want you guys to try and let me know if you are facing any challenges. So anything else, guys? Yes, Selenium concepts is very simple. Okay. If you ask me that, right, programming concepts and Selenium concepts are not what is that related each other. You need to know programming concepts when you need to know when you come up with the framework, right? Okay. At the time, if you have good programming knowledge, that could help you to understand better the framework, automation framework, and to customize any existing framework. At that time, you need definitely some programming knowledge and experience. But working with Selenium and creating Selenium scripts, you no need to have good programming knowledge as per my notice observation. Okay, because it is simple, very simple. All are predefined methods. Simply you're selecting predefined methods to automate user actions, test cases using Selenium script. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys, that's it from my side for today. And you please practice it. And tomorrow session timing, we will let you know. I will be available anytime tomorrow. So please let me know your convenient time tomorrow, what time we can have session. And right, we can schedule accordingly. Guys, anything else you want to discuss, to have anything?
We'll work on it, sir. Yeah, we'll work on it.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.